Here with his reaction, former New York State Assemblyman and founder of Americans Against Anti-Semitism, Dov Hikind. Dov, thanks for being with us. We just heard a brief soundbite from you during that story, but I would like to ask you, to what do you attribute this increase in anti-Semitism that we have been seeing globally?
Very hard to identify specifically, anti-Semitism, hate against the Jewish people. It's been there through history without exception. Sometimes you go through a period where things are quiet, but country after country in the world, sooner or later, it's the Jews, being scapegoated. Whatever your problem is, you blame the Jewish people. We are 15 million. That's how many Jews there are in the entire world, out of 8 billion people. But it almost seems like the haters, the anti-Semites, it's always about the Jews, to blame the Jews. The radical left, the radical right, they hate each other, but the one thing they agree is that the Jews are the problem. We are the ones who control the media. We are the ones who control the banks. We run the world. I mean, it is a very sick, facts don't matter. Anti-Semites do not want to be confused with the facts. So Jew hatred continues, and you're speaking to someone whose mother went to Auschwitz in 1944, and my grandparents and most of the family were murdered the day they arrived at Auschwitz. The only crime they committed is the fact that they were Jews, period. So for many of the haters, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
New York's chief financial officer, Brad Lander, issued a warning to Yeshiva University on Monday, saying that the Orthodox Jewish University might lose future city funding if the institution fails to recognize a student-led LGBTQ club. I know that's a big turn from what we're talking about here, but I wanted to get your assessment of that particular situation.
Look, I know Brad Lander, liberals in general, they believe in everyone, respecting everyone's rights, as long as they agree with those positions. Yeshiva University is a religious institution, and what happened to respecting other people's religious rights? Why is that not important? Why would you want to shove things down the throats of the people at Yeshiva University? But unfortunately, nobody cares. It's again, for progressives, the radical progressives, the Democrats, as far as I'm concerned, they know what the right way is. And if you don't follow their path, you are the enemy. And that's happening in society in general. And it's a very sad commentary and very dangerous for America.
Dov, before we let you go, what do you think is something that needs to happen, even one small thing that can help start to reduce the anti-Semitism that, as you pointed out, has been going on for centuries?
I think part of it is having an honest conversation, which is not happening. Where's the hate coming from? Who's responsible for the hate? Just to give you an example, in New York, where you have over 1 million Jews in New York, and anti-Semitism is literally numbers that we have never seen in history, okay? Who is committing the acts of hate? Who are the perpetrators? Former Mayor de Blasio used to talk about white supremacists. Well, Americans Against Anti-Semitism, our organization, did a study, a detailed study. Guess what we found? Only 3% of perpetrators in New York happen to be white. 90% of the perpetrators were a minority, 70% were from the Black community. But no one talks about that. No one has that discussion. So how do you solve a problem if you don't even want to face the problem? You want it to be about white supremacists. Yeah, we got a problem with white supremacists. We know that. But in New York, that's not the problem. It is minorities attacking the Jewish people. When are we going to have that discussion? There's no plan, by the way, not from the mayor of New York, the governor, the president of the. What's the plan to deal with hate? Can I get a copy of the plan? It's only talk. Talk is cheap, period.
All right. Dov Hikind, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me.
All right, still ahead, folks. Security breach, sensitive law enforcement information now in the hands of cyber criminals. We'll talk about that specific information. What is in there? Could you be at risk? Stay with us.
No